This CEDA video is brought to you by Shoshone-Bannock Hotel.
Get away to Southeast Idaho's newest casino hotel. For only $75 per night, you'll enjoy award-winning comfort at its best with 156 rooms, beautiful suites, full spa, and new restaurants. Plus, it's located right next to Fort Hall Casino, offering over 900 machines of pure casino excitement 24 hours a day. Call 1-855-746-2268 for your special $75 hotel rate. Again, that's 1-855-SHOW-BAN-8.
Contention 1 is the NRC to determine protection standards used for radiation contacts with other harmful emissions that are products of producing nuclear energy. The National Regulatory Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the U.S. Department of Energy base all of their calculations on what is known as the reference or standard man. This character is a 20 to 30-year-old Caucasian male with average status from Western European or North American culture. The use of reference man is the sole standard for regulation requires populations that do not fit the qualities or are excluded from protection. Machiani 08. Reference man was attempted to provide a standard set of biological characteristics that can be used to systematize the calculations that are needed in radiation protection. Reference man is defined as being between 20 and 30 years of age, weighing 150 pounds, 5 feet 7 inches in height, with an average temperature from 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, Caucasian, Western European, or North American habitat and custom. This definition leaves out the vast majority of people, including substantial numbers of workers, from explicit consideration of radiation protection. The continued use of reference man is poor practice because it is not taking into account the greater radiation doses received by some parts of the population as a result from the same environmental conditions. The higher cancer risk per unit of dose they face especially applies to women and children. Even though reference man is taken to an adult male's 20s, the definition makes no mention of the possibility of the man becoming a father, what that might mean in terms of the impacts of the framework of radiation protection regulations. While radiation doses given as calculated in the reference man framework, taking account of possible hereditary effects, non-cancer reproductive effects are not part of the U.S. regulatory framework for radiation protection. Reference man is currently the basis of many federal regulations and compliance guidelines, including workplace radiation exposures, cleanup of radioactively contaminated sites, and some radionuclides in drinking water, notably alpha radiation emitting transuranic radionuclides. Reference man used by 3 federal agencies: the Environmental Protection Agency, Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and the Department of Energy. And even though there are statistical representations on women and children, the use of reference man is pervasive in many different energy industries. That's Machiani 08. External doses are still calculated from parameters relating to adult NRC radiation protection regulations. Use of reference man with minor unsatisfactory adjustment rate in the case of some external exposure calculations. EPA Federal Guidance Report 13 contains dose conversion factors for children with a basic clean air compliance model. Children were specifically excluded from the compliance calculation, maintain consistency with earlier compliance. Special permission needed to deviate from the improved compliance estimation methods. The use of reference man is pervasive radiation protection guidance and compliance but not uniformly so. Children have long been ignored, even though the science to determine whether or not they be higher doses have long been available. Women are either partially included or not included at all. And including a gender-neutral ideal such as the standard man allows for men what is considered a demasculine privilege over everything that is considered feminine. Connor 08.
Okay, so is this ultimately a criticism of nuclear siting? Is that completely separate from your criticism of the debate community, or is this ultimately going to boil down to a criticism of the debate community?
The one I see is 2 parts. First is the NRC's protection standards for radiation, which is the standard or reference man. That's not necessarily citing problems. Citing goes into it, but it's just the protection standards as a generic topic and what the NRC, the EPA, and the DOE all use to determine these standards.
Our interpretation of the Foundation has to defend and actualize the United States federal government, and there's no that is no conclusive desirable. The affirmative violates resolve means to enact by law the story for 61. The word resolve is to express an opinion or by resolution or vote was resolved by the legislator, and the United States federal government refers to the actual government black officers and the U.S. government consists of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches in addition to the administrative agencies, and implies obligation action is mere west or to the use of preliminary function of express obligation. B, violation of the act does not defend the United States federal government action. And C, low -1, not limits to the big terms of possible. T is jurisdiction voting issue to decide which they must recognize the role of agreement in political contest. This is the starting condition of the debate. We cannot argue about something if we cannot agree on the topic in terms of argument. One cannot have an argument about euthanasia with someone who someone who thinks euthanasia is group contesting, meaning there's lack of agreement or communication about what is being contesting. An idea presumes some agreement about what the idea is and how one might go about until contesting it. And 2, roles of negative interpretation is clear. Negative reflection is negative. We must disprove the desirability of the advocacy. If there's no predictable limit on what the affirmative can do, the negative is excluded from the debate. We become passive. Interpretation, our interpretation is the least exclusionary because it provides place to debate over negative things. And 3, process impact is the only academic form where we get education based on class limited competition. We are able to prepare and advance our affirmatives around the comes to 2-hour conference presentation about whether whatever book or article they are reading. This education outweighs any concept-specific education because A, you get concept-specific education in the other form, and B, without people thinking still developing classic competition. We can't effectively act on concept-specific philosophies of English and Title 7, suicide debate, the services of bulwark against fundamentalism, several voices reshaping national dialogue on homeland security have come from Hato served as lead plaintiff counsel in Hato challenged the enemy combat definition of the imprint of this debate trying to get them into the tribal Hato's intervention with our characterized by meticulous research, documentation, and commitment to democratic principles. Located with 3 times the most important preparation for my career came experience as a member of the loyal debate team. The robust understanding of which side taking will help prevent misappropriation of the techniques to bolster suspect homeland security policies. The threat to absolutions or refuse would be classified as with us or against us, embracing the intellectual experimentation or reflexivity of the face of fundamentalism. Man, see, without class-based education, we are likely to come to the wrong conclusions about the content because we won't see both sides and forth. This model all aspects are uncertain, unpredictable, accuracy are not.
Like, what is the realm in which, like, your evidence is criticizing? Like, is it the political realm? Is it, like, culture as system? Is it interpersonal interactions?
It's political.
The political realm?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I guess we can argue.
So what does the alternative do for the debate community?
It changes the debate community because it's
How?
not like the cards are pretty specific. The cards talk about how we should just destroy everything. Everything gets destroyed to start over.
So we should destroy the debate community?
Yeah, we're gonna destroy it.
One way we use the resolution is a unique starting point to evaluate the patriarchal rhetoric surrounding policymaking, extend the Bjork evidence from the I.S.U. When we have the opportunity to change how our activity functions, we need to do so. Debaters, coaches, and judges all must understand how the language will be used as violence to others. If we fail to do so, we forfeit the only power that we have. And 2, counter-information, the affirmative must be germane to the resolution. And 3, we're debatable. A, we are predictable. Feminist CEDA has been an argument and debate for the last decade. You should have answers to it. Being prepared to debate the germane F is functionally the same as debating a new F. And B, we are ready for debate. Best teams have shown that it's best to have generic strategies to different kinds of chaos, and Northwestern Dartmouth and every proof you read framework because we trust in relationship to difference, not because you don't have ground. We lead to better debating. And see, we made our counter-interpretation. We are germane to the resolution by critically analyzing the NRC's regulation standards, meaning we can learn all about policies and processes surrounding it, which is central to the topic. We make nuclear better with an FCDA and are a positive contribution, and we provide sufficient ground. You can read the campaign must use institutions. Any argument against feminism, discourse focus bad because we defend the changing policymaking. You can say the status quo policymaking is good. Policymakers have to defend their positions against FCDA. You don't have answers, and for your policy corrected, we are necessary purpose because without a feminist CDA, policymaking will inevitably be patriarchal and exclusionary. That's when I see Naples and Mazarbins. And 5, this year's topic is inherently masculine. It's debate surrounding any kind of nuclear power. We'll use the gender language that we see in this community. The only way that we will be able to avoid the impacts of cases to address the language that we use. Debate is communicative activity. That thought and language are tools for action. If our fundamental discourse is flawed, we must address it. Otherwise, we risk re-entrenching failed policymaking. Our discourse shapes reality because when I see Rediger and Sauer's evidence. And 6, limiting discussion of policymaking in Washington, D.C. forecloses the opportunity to view everyday interactions and individual choices as political economy. And 2K. If you define democracy only as governance, then the democratic state can only become a mode of collective action and consonant with individual constituency freedoms. 1, you imagine democracy in which constituencies have a significant hand in modeling the negotiation of the democratic aid. This linkage becomes very pertinent as well. The relations between resident with reciprocal appreciation of elements of contestability and the fundamentals of being created, the possibilities being begin to flow, and research this of the subcomic and the final evidence is specific to acceptance of alternative styles of research and is what will lead to a blossoming of our activity. Otherwise, we will force out people in arguments that are not considered rational and reason. This is going to answer their limits. This is going to answer their limits argument and the debate community structure. This is what makes a beautiful family community based on linguistic commonality. As their shyly evidence talks about, destroys difference. Their framework requires homogeneity and the destruction of all perspectives that are deemed outside of this C code in 2K.
Counterplan text nuclear power plants should be built in high socioeconomic areas. The distance between legitimate and illegitimate decision makers heightens the threat of nuclear holocaust. It is only by beginning to heal the racism inherent in the process, like citing nuclear power plants, that we can begin to open up the space for more diverse wisdom to ease tensions. This is Anthony in 95. Nuclear weapons are tools of conquering violent culture, racism, and domestic levels, heightens the potential vulnerability and miscalculation surrounding nuclear proliferation. People of color have had any role in debate, development, or decision-making. The concentration of nuclear power in the hands of a Eurocentric technological elite paranoid about the aims and aspirations of the majority of the world's population. People of color magnifies the potential for a global disaster. The great and growing gulf of human communication between the rich and poor multiplies the potential agonism that could result in planetary holocaust. And the nuclear industry drives siting decisions. Upper socioeconomic neighborhoods cause too much political trouble and land is too expensive. The desire for an easy and efficient process papers over the violence done to low-income and minority communities when risky technology is placed in their neighborhoods without their involvement. This is Foster in 1988.
Who, is the actor for that?
We didn't specify one.
Okay, so
we're saying that that's what should happen.
that's what should happen. Do you claim to be able to solve for any of the impacts?
Well, we say that talking about this opens up the space to for more diverse wisdom and easing tensions